Every day the other half cooks the same old pork mince dish for dinner. It's like Groundhog Day. Hello again, honky tonks. Now, unfortunately, in life, there are some bullies who can't be reasoned with. You can't talk to them. You can't beg for mercy because they won't give it to you. And there's only one language these people understand, and it's universal, thankfully, this language. So if you're a school kid, you're watching this, and your life is being made hell by a tormentor, and they're all cowards, by the way, all bullies are cowards. They always target the weak, the vulnerable, or those who are too far away to get the fucking hands on them. And the answer to that is not to tell your teacher, don't tell the counsellor, don't tell your parents. There's only one thing these wretched creatures understand. I'll let you make your minds up to what I'm talking about. But bullying is it's a fucking disease in society. It fucking infuriates me no end. I was bullied when I was a kid, and I regret that I didn't have the strength nor courage to physically encounter, to face up to this fat, freckly faced fuck back then, because I know for a fact if I did, the bullying would have stopped. It's that simple. Bullies are a disease on society, and it needs dealing with in the most drastic way possible. Anyway, when I was in my regiment in the army, there was this sergeant. He was about yay high. He was a bit of a Napoleon, small man syndrome, obnoxious, loud, not very well liked unless you were an absolute idiot, hangers on. And unlike Napoleon, he wasn't very much a military genius. He was thick as mince. There was a culture in my regiment where I was Fusiliers of people only having their careers advanced if they knew certain people or married sergeant major's daughters, as someone I knew once did. A mediocre soldier whose career then flourished. Make of that what you will, but that kind of shit happened. How these people got through the net, I don't know, but it was a culture, it was a way of life that ultimately helped to make up my mind of leaving because I didn't really agree with it. It wasn't fair, and quite frankly, it wasn't worth my time. So anyway, one evening during exercise, I wasn't sure if it was Salisbury Plain or Sennybridge in South Wales, but I was tasked to go with this little creature for a drive in a Land Rover and reconnaissance an empty building, a certain empty building in a Fibua village. Now, a Fibua village is an exercise little town which is empty, no one living in it, all empty houses. And Fibua means fighting in built-up areas. So why I had to go with him, to this day, I don't understand why. Anyway, the story is, I was sat in the Land Rover, I was driving this idiot, and I was trying to make small talk. I knew what kind of person he was, but I tried my best to make that night go easier, but he wouldn't answer me. It was just grunt, so looking me up and down, I thought, fuck it. So I jacked that in and just concentrated on driving. So we got to where we had to go. Then we got out the Land Rover. He told me to stand outside and keep watch, which was weird. It was just weird. Then he went into the house and he was there for about 20 minutes. So I had 20 minutes of bliss without this idiot's presence around me, making me feel like shit. But the next thing you know, I hear him running outside on the loose chip-ins on the ground. It was like a tippy-tappy, tippy-tappy. Imagine a little munchkin running with little feet, and those feet running as fast as they can. You can hear them like a child. Only way I can describe it. And he was in. There was no one else there. And he pushed my back. As I turned around, he grabbed my throat and he had his finger in my face. And I don't know what it was, but something overcame me, because I snapped, pushed him away, and then I swung and I socked him hard on the jaw, and he was legs akimbo on the floor. I shit myself. I thought I killed him. I thought, I'm going to jail. I'm off to Colchester. My army career's over. My mother's going to be so disappointed. What the hell am I going to do? I shit my pants until he started snoring, so he was alive. And then I figured out, oh fuck, I've knocked him out. So I got some more courage. I thought, I can't let this carry on. So I just grabbed him by his collars, woke him up, shook him, slapped his face. He woke up, he was dizzy. Oh, what? Paz, what the fuck? I said, you put your hands on me again, you talk to me like that again, I'll do exactly the same. Do you understand? I'm not taking this shit from you or anyone. And that was that. On the way back, we had a conversation like we were all friends, and he was fine with me after that. That story didn't make the rounds in the regiment because he was a sergeant and he had to save face, didn't he? But we were cool after that, and he wasn't such a bad guy afterwards. But there we go, lesson learned on his behalf, that one day someone might hit him just like I did, and next thing you know, they won't be as quiet as I was, or as discreet with the story. But the moral of the story is, you shouldn't have to take from people. No one should have to take abuse physically nor mentally. And if you're one of these people who does this to people, then have a fucking word. So yes, this video is about bullying, and the biggest bully in Parliament at the time was John Bercow. If you didn't know who John Bercow was, he was on the news quite regularly. He was the Speaker of the House of Commons. Now, the job of the Speaker, he's the guy who sits in the middle at the end, behind the barristers on the front, if you understand that. He has his black robe, doesn't wear a wig or anything, and he makes sure that the MPs adhere to the rules of Parliament, and he tells which MPs can talk, and he's like a referee, he's like a tennis referee, if you will. And if you see the videos of him, he was very much an obnoxious, nasty piece of shit. And I'm telling you now, if I was an MP and he spoke to me in the manner in which he spoke to MPs, which you can see on YouTube, many of them, then afterwards, if I saw him in the corridor, I'd make sure I'd bump into him. So anyway, he has been found guilty by an independent inquiry of bullying and lying. And there were about 20 odd allegations against him, ranging from treating staff, MPs like shit, shouting at them, to being physical, throwing mobile phones, etc., smashing them on tables, and just being an all-round nasty piece of work. And John Bercow is, make no bones about it, a nasty piece of work, and he's had his just desserts because they've revoked his Houses of Parliament pass. He's banned for life for that, and I am happy, I am glad, because he was one of these idiots. He's a snob, he's a huge snob. I think he's still the MP for Buckingham up the road. Correct me in the comments. And he defected to Labour because Boris Johnson, in one of the few decisions, good decisions that he did, refused him a peerage. Now, a Speaker usually gets a peerage, but because of these allegations, because John Bercow was blatantly biased, and he was pro-EU, by the way. He was very much pro-EU, and he was found guilty of being biased as well, by the way. And he joined Labour to get a peerage, and even that failed. So what will happen now is he will just do the rounds on television. He will go on Sky, BBC, Channel 4, whatever, and just slag off Boris Johnson and the Tories because they got rid of him. They pushed him, rightly so, out the party, and his career is over. His career is completely over, and it's a vindication for the people he bullied, in my opinion. So not only was this idiot pro-EU, and there were many pro-EU idiots in Parliament to this day, he helped to hamper the Brexit process. He had a massive helping hand in stopping the God Emperor Donald Trump, peace be upon him, from making a speech in Parliament, and like all presidents do when they visit. And this paragon of virtue, all right, for the hashtag FBPE lunatics on Twitter. FBPE, of course, meaning fuck Brexit pro Twitter. How the hell did Sky News make the decision to have him as their in-studio commentator, their pundit, on the 2019 election night? God only knows. And his face when the Conservatives won, and this guy's a Conservative, or he was anyway, tells you everything, absolutely everything. This man was an affront to democracy, an affront to decency, the way he spoke to MPs. I know MPs aren't perfect and all that, but imagine being an MP and Houses of Parliament, they're being televised. You can see what's happening live on Parliament TV and clips on YouTube. And imagine being spoken to by this jumped up little snobbish twerp because he didn't like you or didn't like what you said. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Live in front of the nation being talked to by this little dwarf. It's wrong, but he's had his just desserts. He's officially a nasty little bully and a liar and a biased EU twit. His career's over. He'll be on telly now for a bit and then he'll be forgotten. And I am so fucking glad. That's what should happen to all bullies, if you ask me. They should be just pushed into obscurity if they can be reformed. But there we go. He's paid the price. And that's that. That's my video. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you wish to support my channel, then by all means, you can buy me a beer. The link I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not always thinking of drink, by the way. The link is down below, and that's that. So comment, share, subscribe, share my stuff everywhere. The bullies and the lefties, they hate that. And until my next video, Roger Trout.